I be feeling so bad when people, they are so into spirituality and they are tapped into their gifts. They're using their gifts very, very well. And then they end up going back to being religious based. And even if they want to call themselves spiritual, but if you're talking about how you are a follower of Jesus Christ, you're religious based, sweetie. Because in spirituality, his name is Yeshua. In religion, his name is Jesus Christ, because Jesus Christ is the name that Christianity created. Christ, Christian? Come on now. You're religious based. They can sit up there and call themselves spiritual, but no, baby, you're more religious based. Okay? But honestly, who am I to tell you that you're spiritual or religious? Who am I to tell you that, though? But anyway, that's just my opinion. That's just my perspective. However, I feel the reason as to why people that are just, really diving into spirituality, and then at some point they dive too deep and they get scared, they get to the deep end, like the dark deep end. Not dark as demonic, like that type of thing, but I mean the true depths of how real this shit is, and they get scared and they come up out of that. You know what I'm saying? Because people that truly walk this spiritual journey, it's no going back. It doesn't matter how difficult it gets. It doesn't matter how deep you dive. Deep divers, says Ralph Smart. Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. I love him. But anyway, it's like when you dive deep, you're going to see some stuff that you probably don't want to see. But you got to realize that the deeper that you dive, the more demons you're going to find. And those demons are versions of you that have been traumatized, that have been through pain. And that when it's been suppressed and neglected and abandoned, that's how they turn into these demons. They turn into shadows. But you have to face them. You have to give them love. You have to be the one to face the wounds and traumas and issues that you're facing current to this day. The issues that you're facing with other people is a you issue. It's something that you are dealing with, that you have to overcome and deal with. Because the thing about being truly spiritual and walking the spiritual journey, we are constantly going through ego depths. We are constantly self-reflecting on our own self, our own journey. We are constantly being self-aware. We are constantly correcting ourselves, 2 to 2 on my clock. Because listen, I'll give you a quick example. I was just having a conversation with my friend the other day, and I was talking to her about how, I stay with my mom and we get into arguments a lot. We bump heads a lot. Me and my mom have the same moon sign. Okay. We are both a Sagittarius moon. So we bump heads a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very much like my mom. She's like, so a lot of times when you're very much like your parent, you're going to bump heads. And I can understand that my mom does not have the best emotional maturity at times. I can understand that she has always been that way. Ever since I was a teenager, she has been that way. Since I was a little girl, she has been that way. As a child and as a teenager, I wasn't really fully understanding what the issue is. But now as an adult, I can understand, oh yeah, you're just emotionally immature. She's stunted. She hasn't grown since then. However, by me knowing that, the issues that I was facing with her was because I wasn't changing how I was approaching her, how I was behaving with her, how I was interacting with her. It's like and basically what happened is I had to check myself. And I was telling my friend this the other day, but basically I had checked myself and I had to be like, baby, talking to myself. I'm like, baby, if you know that your mama is this way, if you know this is how she is, and you know she's emotionally immature, then why are you being just as emotionally immature as her? That don't make no fucking sense. If somebody had to be the mature one, you be the mature one. It doesn't matter that she's the mother. You know she's not fully equipped to do that. So you have to be the one to be the mature one. If you want to stop arguing with her, then stop fucking arguing with her. Stop going tit for tat. Stop going back and forth. But if you want to have more peace, you're going to have to create more peace. If you want more peace with your mom, you are going to have to give yourself more peace. You're going to have peaceful interactions with her. You got to humble yourself, baby. You got to grow up a little bit. You got to be more mature in our situation. I'm not saying that you're not humble, because you are a very humble person. But in this aspect, you got to humble yourself just a little bit more. I'm not saying that you're not mature, because you're very mature for your age, very wise beyond your years. But in this situation, you're choosing to be immature. This is a choice. This is your free will. And I'll tell you why you're doing this shit is because you're resentful towards her for the shit she did to you all throughout your life. You're doing things to be spiteful towards her sometimes. You got to check yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, baby. That's how you gonna change. How many people are willing to have conversations with themselves like that and to actually check themselves? Like, baby, you're the problem. In this situation, yes, she's the problem, but you are the problem too. Both of y'all are playing a role. Both of you. Both of you all are playing a role. You can't just continue to blame it on her. You can't continue to sit up here and be a certain way. And like, that's insanity. You have to do something different if you want to see a change. And that's the thing about spirituality, baby. It's where you check yourself, you correct yourself, you look at yourself, and you have to have uncomfortable conversations with yourself in order for you to grow and become a better person. Because we are here for our souls to evolve, for our souls to mature. We are not here to be perfect. None of us are perfect. I don't even believe that Yeshua was perfect. I'm sorry, but I don't even believe that he was perfect. I believe that Yeshua scratched the surface of perfection. But I don't believe that that man was perfect because he was human. He was human. He was showing us how you can live and be tapped into, just be tapped into your energy, to live your life from your soul, and how to be emotionally mature, how to self-reflect, how to, just be a greater version of yourself. He tapped into being the greatest. He was the greatest version of himself. And he is saying, when you become the greatest version of yourself, this is what you can have. But I don't believe that that man was perfect. And I feel like y'all little Christians out there think that that man was perfect. No, he wasn't. Because when you're human and you're in this fleshly body, you're not perfect. But they don't want to hear that. But anyway, spirituality is where you realize that the issues that you're facing are a lot of times rooted back within yourself. And you have to look at yourself. You have to look in the damn mirror. You have to face yourself. You have to deal with your own issues. And a lot of times when y'all get so deep and y'all realizing that you are the problem and you have to correct yourselves, a lot of times y'all be afraid to do that. Y'all be afraid to check yourself. Y'all be afraid to look in the mirror. Y'all be afraid to tell yourself that I was wrong for what I did and I need to do better, that this was my fault. Y'all be afraid to take accountability for the role that y'all are playing. Y'all be afraid to actually look at the uncomfortable truth of the issues that you have been having in your life. And baby, I understand how it's some stuff in this world, like, people have gone through stuff where they have been molested, or assaulted and stuff like that, even assaulted sometimes as a young adult. But at some point in time, even though that was a horrible thing, we're not victim blaming you at all. But even in moments like that, we have to look at ourselves and think, what role was I playing in the situation? What was I doing where I was not standing in my power? What role was I playing where I was not standing in my strength? I understand that things are a trauma response, but why did I go into fawn instead of flight? Why didn't I just get the fuck up out of there, bro? Why did I go into fawn? Or why didn't I fight? A trauma response is freeze, fawn, fight, or flight. Why didn't I fight? Why didn't I flight? Why didn't I flee? Why did I fawn? Because me fawning created more trauma. And you have to have uncomfortable conversations with yourself like that, even when the most traumatic things can happen to you. When the most traumatic things done happen to you, you have to have conversations like that with yourself so that those experiences never happen to you again, because it comes back to you. I even had to tell myself, baby, it's because you had noticed the red flags. Your intuition was screaming, don't do this. No, get out, abort mission. But you ignored your intuition. You ignored the red flags. That was a me problem. I ignored my intuition. I ignored the red flags. I take accountability for that, bro. Yes, I'm digressing a little bit, but I gotta just give you the straight facts, bro. Speaking from my own wisdom, that even when difficult things happen like that, I can't entirely blame it on the fucking devil, because I know I played a role too. Sometimes it's like a 80-20. It was 80% the devil, 20% you. You got to fix that 20%. You got to correct that 20%, baby. Because there have been other situations after that situation where 80% of the devil was trying to tempt me. But that 20% was no, back, no. So yeah. I feel like a lot of you, when y'all go back to religion and go back to being religious based, is because you want to blame your problems on some outside force outside of you for every fucking thing, instead of looking at yourself and realizing how you yourself are playing a role into the suffering that you're going through. And for you to be able to be real about that, that's what's going to allow you to grow and evolve spiritually. We're having the split and y'all be so close, but then y'all go back towards religious base. Nah, bro. Keep going towards spirituality, baby. Keep going higher. Keep evolving higher. Keep diving deeper. Because the deeper you dive, the higher you ascend and the more that you expand. So yeah, y'all keep y'all religion. Y'all can keep you out that.